Now, what we're dealing with today, man, is just a slight vegan meal prep, nothing too great, man. Just a few ingredients that I love to have in my meals all the time. Now, the first ingredient is always going to be kale. As you can see, I prefer to allow my kale to ripen until it starts to yellow. For the most part, I prefer the flavor of the yellow kale as opposed to when it's fully green. That's just my preference. So what I'm going to do, we're going to drop that in there. As you can see, I don't believe in starting my oil before because I don't want my vegetables to start off sizzling. I want them to heat along the way, which helps keep them from being tough. I want them to heat along with the process. So now I will turn that on. I will put it on 4. I don't want it to hard saute. I want it just to sit and marinate and saute very slowly. Now what I'm going to add next, I'm going to add my bell peppers here. I've got red and orange rather. So I'm going to add my red and orange bell peppers. As you can see, there are my bell peppers. I'm going to add my red and orange bell peppers. No small cuts. I'm just going to add slices this time. I actually want to be able to pick my bell peppers up with my fork and eat them this time. Other times I just scoop them up with a helping of the mixture. This time I want to be able to actually pick up the bell peppers separately. I'm also going to add right now some eggplant. Now I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of talk about living a plant-based lifestyle. Oh, let me show you my eggplant. My eggplant, I actually did dice it up. So as you can see, I've got diced pieces of eggplant here. Gonna drop them in there. Now we're gonna simply let all that marinate down a little bit. It's gonna take a little minute. So what we'll do in the meantime is we'll take our bowl, put it back right there. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna strip out our cilantro. The cilantro and garlic will be the last things I add because I don't want my garlic to cook down until the flavor is gone. I like to actually taste the flavor and feel the texture of my garlic. So I'm just gonna take these, man, and just strip them off slowly since it's gonna take that a while. And I do this in this order because I don't wanna be rushed into doing something where I end up leaving parts of the plant that I don't want on there because I'm in such a rush to get it into the mixture. So I'm gonna do this. We're gonna allow that to saute a little bit. Then we'll get to the next step where I add my zucchini and my portabello mushrooms. I'm gonna let this saute for a minute. Let this saute for a minute while I'm turn it down just a little bit. Let me add a little bit of water to the mixture. Now I'm dicing up this garlic, man, and I'm gonna tell you a fun fact about garlic. All right, in World War I, you know, the main reason that the war was lost is that Hitler kept pushing the German army further and further into enemy territory through the harsh winters. And when those soldiers were injured or starving or diseased, they could not get them out of there quickly. So in order to keep their injuries from becoming infected, they would use garlic as for its antibiotic penicillin type properties. There is a ingredient in garlic called allicin, one or the other. Look it up. And it has antibiotic properties, and so that is why I use fresh garlic. You can use garlic in any form you want to. You don't necessarily have to use fresh garlic if you're using garlic for flavor, but there are certain elements of the garlic benefit and health analysis that you can't obtain unless you use fresh garlic. And some of them you have to crush garlic. Now I'm not going to crush garlic this time. I'm just going to, I guess you would call this dicing, but so I'm actually putting garlic in this time more for the flavor. I normally use 2 cloves in every meal, and when you buy fresh, 2 cloves is only a small amount. I mean, I get two bundles of garlic for $1, and I'm telling you, there's about this one that I have now, the bundle I'm working on now, man, had about 15 cloves in it. So, you know, we're talking about. So here's my garlic going in right now. As you can see, there's my zucchini, and there's my garlic right there. So got another piece of eggplant right here as well, a couple of pieces. So I'm gonna go ahead and push this garlic in there. I'm also gonna go ahead and push the zucchini in. And while we're at it, I might as well go ahead and take the portabello mushrooms. Now I normally do the portabello mushrooms. No, matter of fact, I think I will. I'm gonna do the portabello mushrooms in their own skillet, simply because they are the makeshift meat source of this meal. So I'll take that, man. I'll take this little skillet right here, put a little bit of avocado oil in it, not much, about a tablespoon. I'll go ahead and put my mushrooms in there. Doesn't take much seasoning with mushrooms. The more you saute them, they start to really get the flavor of meat. So as you can see, I'm putting my mushrooms in there. I know I didn't give you guys a chance to see those. I'll show them to you once I get them in the skillet. I'll go ahead and cut that eye on, put it on medium heat for now. Now, as you can see, those are my mushrooms. Whole lot of portabello mushrooms right there. But they're gonna cook down and flatten out, so it's not gonna look like nearly that much. A couple of other ingredients I'm gonna add while we're sitting waiting for those to start. I'm gonna add some sauerkraut, some Severn artisanal kraut. It's organic. The only ingredients are organic cabbage, water, salt. And there is some lactic acid in that, but hey man, as people who eat pork say, you gotta die from something. Now I have this redneck homemade salsa. I buy this salsa because it only has 120 milligrams of sodium per 2 tablespoon serving. But you're not gonna find many sauces that have that low sodium count. It only has tomatoes, tomato paste, which is has onions, green peppers, jalapeno peppers, a little bit of sugar, salt, spices, vinegar, and garlic. One of the most natural ones you're gonna find, and it's made in the good old state of down home Mississippi. And it's one of the last frontiers as far as getting natural organic food. You know, and that's only some things when it comes to, you know, the corn and all those other things, man. There are some things you just have a hard time getting organic anywhere in the United States. Even when it's labeled organic, sometimes it's not actually organic. But that's a totally different conversation there. Oh, and as you can see, this is my stove. I clean it. I know it's clean, so if a little bit of something pops out of the pot, I'm putting it right back in, as you can see. All right. Oh, I also have some basil. I normally use fresh basil, but they were out of fresh basil when I went in. And the thing about this is the expiration date. It says best before. Now think about this. It doesn't say expires on April 17th. It says best before April 17th. I look into it. I smell it. I look and see, do I see any mold or anything in it? I don't. It's going to be used. And as a matter of fact, it's going to go over here with the mushrooms. Ah, I threw your curveball in. You thought I was going to put that in here with the vegetables, didn't you? I know you did. I know you did, but not so. I'll tell you what, we'll go in here with the vegetables. I'm going to put my cilantro. As you can see, I got my cilantro here. I'm going to put my cilantro in here with the vegetables. I don't believe in dicing cilantro. What I found out about what I've learned about herbs and seasonings, the more you dice the plant, the more you kill the flavor. So that's why I don't believe in really finely diced garlic. I believe in chopping the garlic perhaps, or sometimes I just use garlic slices. I just slice the cloves. But what we'll do here, we'll let these things marinate and get started for a minute, and then we'll come back and continue the rest of the meal, guys. Matter of fact, let me put you guys down so you can see what's going on here. Okay, there you go. Now, this is what I'm gonna eat, guys. As you can see, I got my little mushrooms going over here. I got the rest of my vegetable stir fry going. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and stick my kraut in here so they can go ahead and cook along. Yeah, I know this is a huge meal, but it is very low in calorie, very high in nutrients. So as you can see, I don't spare anything when it comes to the sauerkraut. I put as much in as I want. I'm not gonna put the salsa in just yet. Now I'm gonna show you guys something that I didn't do the last time. I've got some ground ginger here, some organic ground ginger from Simple Truth Organic, which is my go-to brand. I'm gonna add some ginger to this mixture right here. I will use, sometimes when I have time to go to the grocery, I don't have time to go when they restock. I go back the night before they restock, so they're out of things. When they're out of things and I can't get them fresh, then I get them Simple Truth Organic. Now here, for my mushroom, I'm gonna add some ground cumin. If you use any other packages that season meat, for taco seasoning or chili seasoning or any of that, you'll notice they all have ground cumin in it. This is what gives those packets the flavor, where they coincide with the meat flavor that you're eating on your meat. Doesn't take much. Might take a little bit more than that though. All right, doesn't take much of that. And you already know about my regular Mrs. Dash seasoning, pretty much everything Mrs. Dash offers. All right, my mushrooms are coming along. Now I'll tell you something else I'm gonna do with my mushrooms. I'm gonna add my grape tomatoes to my mushroom mixture and just let those cook down in the mushrooms. It's gonna give the mushrooms like a saucy flavor, so it's gonna be like meat with a sauce. And contrary to others you see, I leave all of the salt out of my seasonings so I can add a little bit of salt at the end. As you can see, I got some Hain Pure Foods iodized sea salt. This salt supplies iodine, a necessary nutrient from a natural source, made from evaporated seawater. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put a little bit in here. That's a little bit, I'm gonna put a little bit over there. That's it. So between the two of those, I put about 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt between the two of those. If not that, it could have been 1/16 of a teaspoon. I'm pretty good at measuring salt. Now, the thing about these, you gotta add a little bit of water, and as you can see, I'm cooking with water from a bottle. From a plastic bottle. Fumi. They didn't have my bottled water that I normally get, my big huge bottle. So what I do, go without water. It's kind of like telling someone if you don't have access to organic fruit, don't eat fruit. Hey man, if non-organic fruit is all you have access to, you got to eat what you can get, man. So I'm gonna let this finish up, guys. I'll show it to you guys when it's on the plate.